Is RNG good? Is Clash Money an esport? This video is your answer, but I am not telling you that. Instead, it will be these 5 passionate Clash Money players.
My name's Mick and I'm a competitive Clash Mini esports player.
I'm Learn to Clash and I'm a Clash Mini YouTuber.
I'm Draco, and I'm a moderator on the official Clash Mini Discord server.
I'm Uluk, and I'm a German Clash Mini YouTuber.
I'm Yellow Get Wrecked, and I take part in losing Clash Mini tournaments.
We are going to discuss about some Clash Mini issues and features, starting with the first prompt. The introduction of clans was lackluster.
It was a really exciting feature at first, and yeah, it brought a lot of people into it, especially after the update, because it was heavily requested. I remember Frame mentioning that it was the development of it was really rushed, that and raids, just to fulfill the player expectations. But the rewards of it are, while good over a long time, they're pretty bad individually. It's a big workload for most people, so I mean, most people aren't too into it, and it gets boring pretty quickly.
I mean, the box is exciting. That's something.
I actually don't think that box is very exciting to open up.
Really?
Yeah,
I love that box.
I don't know
as
why.
well.
It's the one box that I always hate opening.
Yeah, I definitely agree the rewards are not worth it. I assume they are long term, but you don't feel it when you go onto raids.
Yeah, long term, I calced it out. It's close to $100 free of content every year, which is pretty insane.
If I want to do my quests, I can just hop on a raid and do the quests, and I really enjoy that feature. That's the main reason pushing it for me.
Sometimes I need to force myself to play the raids, also because we have raid rules in the clan that everyone needs to attack their certain amount of points and so on.
Coming from like a competitive standpoint of me playing all day, every day, I barely have time to even play raids. Even when I do quests, I'll just keep pushing with the quests. So I love that they brought the clans. I love that. But I just definitely feel like the raids need a little work to it.
Definitely a tweak, yeah, because my clan is casual, very casual, but only like 5 people actually play the raids, and we somehow beat the raids.
Second prompt. Clash Money is an esport.
Yeah. For the long term, I do think it can be an esport, of course. But right now, in the game's current state, definitely not. Like, there's no tournament standards for tournaments. There's no replays to actually watch it. So you have to go on a Discord call and stream it. And then ladder is still just more time than skill. So I don't think it's an esports yet.
Not right now, because obviously right now it's hard to cast tournaments without the tournament standards and the spectate mode. But in the long run, I guess we just have the different perspective there. It's definitely an esport for me, and also right now, because with the level 1 to 7 and the level 1 to 10 tournaments, there is still like some way to make tournaments without that tournament standard, and it kind of works well. But,
it's doable, yeah.
I think any other Supercell game has had such an esports in the beta phase.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Don't get me wrong. I definitely see like esports definitely coming into it. Competitive wise, it would be crazy and it would be amazing to cast. Like just as like a Twitch streamer casting it, is crazy. But definitely spectate mode, I mean, that's not ready yet. The Discord, all that kind of stuff definitely still needs to work. But for right now, I don't think it's like too ready for it, but definitely down the line, it would be amazing.
100%.
One problem I do actually have with the esports feature of this game is that it's hard to tell like the skill disparity between players just by watching gameplay of it. Because like with Clash Royale, Brawl Stars, like you can tell who's better at the game by watching it, and like they can figure out for themselves who's better at playing what. Clash Mini, it's a little harder to figure out the skill right away.
What if it's a super new strat that looks really dumb but is actually really smart, and
Trust
you
me,
won't be able
casters
to
know
tell?
their
Mega Knight
stuff.
in the back of the map.
Be like, oh, they just some reason put a Mega Knight in the bag. We'll see how it plays.
I feel like with the little tournaments they be like having, like throwing around in like Discord and people be playing, I feel like that shows off some skill on like how some people might place, but definitely ladder, is all based off time for.
Hopping into our first mini section, questionable questions. Here I am gonna ask some controversial questions and they are gonna fight to their death about it. Fun. Starting with, you see this hero on the screen. Is she the countess or the countess?
The
Countess.
first one.
I'm a countess. Countess.
Yeah,
Anyone
I
who
like
says anything
Countess.
else.
I agree with
Countess is like a
Flash.
really European accent of it.
Frame is Serbian, and that is European. Therefore, the only logical answer is the European accent.
Is Frame a vampire?
Maybe we should ask Siri.
Probably is.
So that's why vampire so OP.
Wait, yeah, how would Siri
That's
Siri
why
pronounce
everyone says
it?
no
I'm about to ask Siri.
American Siri or British Siri?
American. I'm about to find out.
Countess.
There you go.
Bro,
Got it. Easy
Siri's
win.
wrong. It's Apple.
Easy claps.
Android superior anyways. No one cares.
Just go to Google Translate and use all the different English accents there.
She's gonna be like Countess.
That's almost French
Countess.
then.
Oh,
Count
man.
S.
It's actually Count Chocula.
Second question, which skin is better, Shark Bowler or Snola?
Oh.
Why?
Oh,
Why'd you do this?
I'm just kidding.
Okay, I want everyone else to say it first because I know I'm going to be wrong.
I said Snola.
I'm for
bowler
the fish bowler, the shark bowler.
Oh, nah, Snowman, man. What?
Snowman, really?
A
I mean, the
big,
snowman is
big boy
cute. I
fish
agree.
all the way.
But like the
Snowman
shark,
is a
the
better
shark bowler is
name.
like a whole different freaking troop. Look, as a different
The
mini.
shark is so stubby. He looks like short.
Yeah, but like the snowman throwing a big snowball at you. You know what I'm
Look, that is
saying?
amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
We already got
You
Ice
get
Wizard for snowballs at people.
Wait, snowmen are made of snowballs, and he's throwing snowballs. Doesn't that mean he's just throwing himself?
Yeah.
True.
It's a little sus.
That's a really good argument.
I feel like a lot of troops in this game have that same color feature around purple, and the Snoller having that white and light blue really makes him stand out.
Yeah, well, every Christmas skin is green and red.
Fair
Do
point.
you want to play the Snola in the hot summer? Doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
You just melt them on purpose.
Yeah.
That's kind of mean.
I mean, I'm still hoping for a different Buff King skin because I don't know if I want to play the Christmas Buff King all year long. So
Honestly.
maybe we have an alternative with the Shark Bowl. I really like
Mm.
it.
Hopping back to the third prompt, Clash Mini is dying.
A lot of the pro players that are they're more into the game, so you're going to see less people leave from up there. But I mean, at the casual player base, there's a lot of players that just kind of join and drop out really quickly. Like if you look at the download count, that's nowhere close to the amount of players there are.
Yeah.
So well, I mean, it's still growing, but it's just not in the two different sections. It's growing differently.
Yeah, I agree. I agree actually on that sense. The only reason I said I disagree is because the main point that comes up is Clash Minis dying because there's no updates or whatever, or there's less content, which is
Yep.
true. But when
I mean, yeah.
the part that's true is the less content, not the part that is dying.
Mhm.
But like you've seen like Frame in his stage channels, he goes on creators for interviews. They're actively and always openly listening. So I think the game is not dying; it's just getting started.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
dying, but it's slowing down. If we don't get that much new content and new exciting content, like, okay, we got new hero, new season, new mini, but that's it. If we get multiple updates in a row like that, then it's like getting very boring. And I also know from friends who stopped playing the game because they had nothing really to do, which kept them motivating. Okay, quests, but the progression felt so slow for them that they stopped playing. The dev team needs to address that the leaderboard system, and also add new game modes, because otherwise, if only with the normal updates, normal season updates, I think the game might get boring. But still, overall, it's not dying at all, in my opinion.
The one thing I miss in the game is the free things in the shop. The 5 quest challenge coins were amazing. It was an incentive for a casual player to actually log on every single day, and I really miss that.
I think we should get hero fragments daily.
Yeah, hero fragments, crystal coins, whatever. We'll just mix between a bunch of things. I'd really appreciate that.
You know, let's not forget that the game's also still in beta. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't think it's dying yet. It's still building up. Like if I'm coming from a casual player and I'm just playing casuals, for fun, right? I would understand where people could say the progress is slow or it's repetitive or whatever the case may be. But coming from like a competitive standpoint, always playing the game 24/7, always changing up a deck or whatever. I just feel like it gives it that twist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the fourth prompt, RNG is good.
So I agree with Frame when he says it adds elements of surprise to games and stops it from being 100% predictable. Because like like when I'm in a tight spot and I'm about to, because I'm not 100% about skill. I just I try to play the game, and when I play and like I'm about to die, because they can 100% predict me. Like if I'm in Legendary League, I can have that RNG to kind of help me out in that tight spot. But at the same time, I do see like you're on the opponent's end, like they're winning, they really calculate it all, and then suddenly they get their mini Pekka crit chance, and then they lose. So it's two ways for me, but I do prefer the RNG.
Because if it's a spear goblin or a prince, you can just block it. So you can actually control that RNG. But with fishermen, you literally can't do anything about it. Because you don't know where he's placing it. You can't block it or anything. You can't influence it at all.
The fisherman RNG I really did not like. Yeah, I didn't like that one.
But also like a mini Pekka, if the opponent mini Pekka keeps on critting, or also the big Pekka, if he keeps on critting, it's just so annoying if you only lose that round because of this RNG. Overall, I think in the game there will always be a lot of RNG, like matchups, where the clash abilities will hit and so on. But that's normal for me. But like abilities which are just based on a chance, which is completely RNG, I think that's a bit unfair. And I hate it when I lose to such bad RNG. So yeah, that's why I disagree.
I think RNG has a place in small amounts in terms of like mini abilities. Because, for example, with the Dark Goblin, that one's got a pretty low stun chance, 15%. So the main ones are like with that one and Barbarian. Those are fine having RNG,
Yeah,
because it helps move it along earlier as it's ramping up, and it makes it more influential when they're attacking quicker.
I can agree with that actually. I'd be happy with just that kind of RNG.
I'm kind of stuck like in the middle because I was okay with it at first for a long time, but about like the Wave Master stuns, that was crazy. Absolutely crazy. It
That one
honestly
sucked.
it all depended on if you get that stun right. Like I have a clip where I stunned, was it music 7 times in a row, and that chance is like 0.000, like it was so many zeros that whole entire game because I just kept stunning and the chances were absolutely crazy. So I feel like I agree with you with the Barbarian, like ramping up is really cool, like for the RNG, but like that Wave Master definitely needed like a pullback, you know what I mean?
I think Frame said it. They want high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward. It's kind of similar to that, where like low impact abilities are fine having RNG, but when it's really influential ones, like with Wave Master, Pekka, Mini Pekka, those having high amounts of RNG just don't work well for them.
Do you like the mirror
No.
tower RNG? As in like where they're
In the
placed?
front, in the back.
That one's annoying because you can get really screwed by it.
Yeah. I really hate that one. I want them to make it mirrored. I know some people like it for the excitement, but like, nah,
I love
I
it.
hate it. You love it?
I love the mirror map. I love it.
Well, mirror's fun because it's pretty easy to know what side it's mirroring to, no matter where it shows up on the board.
Yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't normally like screw you too much in terms of where it's placed, because you usually have a decent mix of a good front range mini or a good backline mini that can both benefit from it.
That's true. Yeah.
Mirror
Yeah,
3-star archer says hi.
in general, always the backline minis are better on the
Will-
mirror tile. Like the only front line mini which is good is the giant skelly.
Like Draco said earlier, high risk, high reward. If you're going in overtime and you see that mirror tile on the front, you could just clone your archer in the front and he won't ever know. He's not gonna think of
Front
it, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Box RNG. If you get the correct mini in the box, what you need or you don't get it. You need to reroll and you still don't get it, and then you'd lose the round because you don't get it.
I hate that so much, and I end up losing like 6 elixir
Yeah.
because I was trying to get that one mini.
The worst thing is when you're rolling and like you never roll a tank. And you just keep rolling like archer, bowler, spear goblin over and over.
That happened to me today. It was magic. It was musketeer, archer, and musketeer, archer.
You just leave your musketeer in the front.
Yeah, I was
And that's a wrap. This video took like 20 plus hours from planning to recording to editing, so I really appreciate you sticking to the end, and I will link all of these amazing participants in the description below. And if this video hits 70 likes, I will make a second episode of Honest Talks. But in the meantime, check out this video of the worst deck in Clash Mini. Interested?